This is Jeff Fabb from Black Label Society, and you're listening to Vulgar Display of Podcast.
It's dark, I can't see back. What lurks around me, I feel intensely.
Hi, and welcome to the Vulgar Display of Podcast live from the Barn Studio. You got the Mox here with Anthony, and we are joined with a special guest online. We have Jeff from Black Label Society and solo work as well. Jeff, what's up, man?
What's happening, y'all? What's going on?
It took us a little bit to get connected, but here we are, right?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. No problem. We're excited, and I know you're excited. Obviously, a busy week for you. I got the new album coming out. Love and War will be out this Friday, April 5th. Excited for the release or what?
Oh, man, I'm stoked, yeah. Basically, what I've been doing is releasing like a single every 4 weeks. And so this will be the third single that will be on this next coming album, which I think I'm probably gonna release if I can during the summertime.
Yeah, and I would say like the traditional way of like putting out albums, like that's gone, right? Like we don't do that anymore for the most part. The listener doesn't tend to have a long attention span. Do you feel like this is a better way to kind of release, art?
I don't know, man. I got to be honest with you. I like the old way.
Yeah. Well, we do.
Yeah, but I mean, I get why it is this way now. But I'm a record guy. I love the records, man. So I do enjoy. I like this because it kind of gives some, the listeners some new stuff all the time to listen to. It also gives each song maybe a little more of a chance to be listened, which is kind of cool. But I miss the old days, kind of.
Is this album a very personal album for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess all of these songs are personal. You know what I mean? They're all just like trials and tribulations in my life, and stuff I had to overcome to like do what I wanted to do and things like that. I hopefully it's more of like I wanted to inspire people to kind of go after what they want to do with their lives. So that's kind of where I'm coming from in my stories, But that's pretty much what it's all about,
And is that true for your personal life? Obviously, you made the move to LA, and I think some of the songs and some of the lyrics have to do with that. Is that true with your personal life?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Love and War is all about me moving to Los Angeles. That's what that song is really about. But I hopefully it's about anyone who moved there, right? It could be, I'll use other band. I was in this moment, years ago, and Maria moved there and Chris moved there, and we all moved there from different places, and everybody had that dream and that goal, and fortunately we were able to meet one another and make it happen, So, I mean, that's basically what that song is about,
So is this like your Welcome to the Jungle, right? Where you get off the bus and you're from a different place and you're trying to fit in and trying to, maybe network or meet some people or, find.
Yeah, man. And I came from a really small town out on Long Island, and man, I didn't know anybody there. I was just like, all right, here we go, but started going through the music connection, drummer wanted for this band, drummer wanted for that band, playing in all kinds of, garage bands. And yeah, man. It was quite the journey, quite the experience,
So Jeff, can you kind of tell us about your origins, I guess, and your journey into the world of heavy music and hard rock, and what initially drew you to the music, and what kind of inspired you to start drumming?
Well, I think I remember watching old videos that were playing in the house when I was a kid. Even before videos, we had vinyl in the house, right? We had Blizzard of Oz. We had Back in Black. We had Diver Down, Van Halen. We had We had Paranoid, was Sabbath. We had, all these albums, a few choice records like that, and I was drawn to them right away. And then when I was when I was about fifth, maybe I was in like fifth grade, sixth grade. I was in about fourth grade, I think, and I just started like we would have these things in my high school called the variety show, and they would have the bands play at the end, the high school bands. And I remember seeing these guys playing these bands, and I was just like, wow, I was just drawn to it. I loved it. I loved the drums. I loved looking at them. I would draw them. I would draw the stage setup of Van Halen. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just drawn to it right away. I loved it. And I would go sit on my friends' drum sets that they had at their house. I didn't even have one yet. And I would be playing on it. And it took my mom a little while before I got a kit. But that was about the same time when MTV started, right? So I was watching Motley Crue and watching Tommy Lee play and then even before that, I was watching Mitch Mitchell and the Who and all these bands on their videos. And I don't know, I was just drawn to it. I just wanted to do it. That's what I wanted to do. I mean, I definitely knew then. I didn't know if I was going to actually do it, but I wanted to do it.
So when you actually started getting in and drumming and practicing and all that, what was your biggest inspiration? Like, was there a specific drummer? Like, you mentioned Tommy Lee and some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, like that. It was like from the records I was listening to, it was like Bill Ward. It was Lee Kerslake and all those dudes that played on the Blizzard of Oz record, and then it was of course like Alex Van Halen. And then it was Tommy Lee, and then it was Stuart Copeland, and then it was Neil Peart, and then it kind of started with those cats, and then it was, then I also started listening to, I got a little older, I was listening to some jazz and stuff, so I got into like Buddy Rich and and like a lot of those guys too. So it kind of that's basically where it began, and then it just kind of it just got broad as the years went on,
Some kids growing up, they're like Dungeons and Dragon nerds, right? And me and Anthony, like, we were music nerds, right? We would read all the liner notes and just dissect the lyrics. And it's kind of like what you're talking about too. I remember, drawing like pictures of Gene Simmons' face and Kiss in my notebook when I should have been doing homework.
Totally. I was doing the same thing. I was drawing like in Black Label, we have the Wall of Doom, all the amps and stuff. I was like kind of drawing that when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Because I was I was looking at the Van Halen stuff. So I would always be drawing those drum kits. And it's funny too, because I even talked to the fellas in the band and they did that too. You know what I mean? They would draw those setups and stuff. And I think a lot of us probably did, Yeah,
I'm sitting in the sixth grade middle school room just tracing a body count album cover, and that probably wasn't the best thing for a 6-year-old or a sixth grader to be doing. But
not body count. Yeah, I couldn't let my mom find me with body count. That would have been a bad one.
Oh man, I remember bringing home Number of the Beast. Man, I remember my mom looking at me like, "What's this?
Yeah,
666, Number of the Beast." I was like, I need this record.
Tell me if you feel this way, but those were lifesavers to me, man. Those old albums, especially growing up as a teenager and like angsty as hell, the Panteras and the Slayers and the things that sounded angry. It really saved my life, I think, in a lot of different ways. And I mean, you ended up making it your career. We're just in my garage talking about it. So good for you. But was that the case with you as well?
Yeah. I feel like music gave me a purpose and it gave me a direction in life that I don't know if I would have necessarily had before. Absolutely. Yes.
And do you still have that passion about it? Now that it is your livelihood, it is your career, how do you continue with that motivation? Because, all these years later, you're on the other side of the music industry, and I'm sure it's not always pretty. It's not always, fun to be a part of. I'm guessing. I wouldn't know, but How do you stay motivated?
Well, I love playing, and I love playing in front of people and getting that energy and everything. So that hasn't gone away at all. I like doing other things in music, like playing guitar and like trying to write songs and exploring those kind of avenues, within music, because I love music so much. I don't, I want to, everything I do, I kind of want to be in music, so yeah, I guess like through the years, I mean, it's just like where we're at right now, where I'm at right now is just trying to like write these songs and put out these songs for people to listen to. And, I'm just doing it because I love it, really. I'm not doing it for any other reason. So I'm not doing it for money, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are.
Hell no.
You got the Black Label Society shirt on, as
Yes.
we speak right here. That's a killer shirt, by the way. Have you talked to the big man? I mean, obviously we're kind of on his watch, right?
Yeah. I talk to him. We're on a group text. We're always chatting with each other, making fun of each other and stuff. Yeah, we're all good. We're going to be finishing up this album, so this new Black Label record. So that's going to be coming out, and we got Berserkish Fest coming up in September. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, killer lineup on that.
Yeah, it's
going to be awesome, man. Hopefully that'll turn into like kind of an Ozfest kind of thing,
Traveling festival has kind of gone to the wayside over the last decade or so. And now it seems like there's more and more just pop-up festivals that I call them, destination festivals or whatever. Do you feel that is that where we're headed? Do you think the traveling festivals are now dead and gone?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? They might come back. I'm not really sure. Because I know people loved them, right? I mean, who didn't love Ozfest? I mean, I loved it.
I mean, there's nights I didn't sleep. I was so excited for them.
Right? I know. Me too. So, I mean, I think that people would do it. I don't know. I think they would go.
Talking specifically about this festival, we recently just spoke to Blacktop Mojo, which is, I think,
oh yeah, cool,
on part of your publicist team.
Yeah.
And I think with some of this country / rock and some of this Southern rock, the lines are just so blurred right now. And, looking down this list, it's you guys, obviously, Cody Jinks, Clutch, Rival Sons, Blackstone Cherry, and just a ton of others. Are genres going away, do you think? Are they becoming more blurred? Is it a little bit not as defined as it used to be?
Definitely more blurred. Yeah, absolutely. I think everything's just kind of merging. You know what I mean? I think it's like the youth too. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, well, yeah, I know I'm country, but I'm gonna do some rapping too. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of that. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like the generations going on, and it becoming this other thing. So I think it's cool, man. Whatever. It's all music. So, whatever you like, and if it inspires you, and people obviously love it. So, it's cool.
Mentioning Gene Simmons, he said, rock's dead, and he's not the only one. A lot of people say that, but I just think it's like maybe your definition of rock might be dead, or it's not as the same as it was when you were younger, but you just got to kind of look in different places. And there's so many bands out there. If you do the work and if you're really searching for music that you like, you're going to find it. There's somebody out there that you're going to dig. It's just, putting in the time and the work.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Probably, yeah, like you said, I mean, that era of rock is probably over, but, once the era is over, it's over, right? I mean, the music lives on, but, things change, and, like we were talking about earlier with records and, the way stuff and streaming now, and it's different, but it's just like, you got to roll with it. You know what I mean? You got to adapt. You got to just learn how to adapt, I guess, and just keep it going.
I would say you've done that with your music videos as well. A lot of people kind of push back on the AI stuff, and you've embraced it. Tell us a little bit about that decision, kind of how and why you landed there, and what you think about the future of AI and using it in music and art and all those things.
Well, the reason I really got into the videos of it is because I could control making the video myself. So with this whole project of mine, it was mostly about, okay, well, what can I do? I want to do it. I want to do everything. You know, I don't want to rely on anybody. I want to do it all myself. So that's pretty much where it was. The AI came in because it was like, okay, I can create these videos like this and put them together and edit them and stuff. And that was pretty much how it came about. You know, it was kind of like a necessity kind of a thing. You know, it came out of it was. And then that's pretty much why I picked it, you know, because it was like I didn't need to go call up my buddy to get his cameras and then, you know, find a nice location and you know what I mean? Like, forget it, you know? So really, that's why.
And that's kind of ironic because I would say, you know, with using AI, what you hear a lot of times is we're losing control of this, right? But you're saying it actually gives you more control and more ability to edit and kind of make it your own.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's not saying that I wouldn't like to make a normal video, like a regular video. It was more of just kind of like I was working within the confines of what I had. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm just trying, like, if it's there, you might as well try to use it to your advantage, right? So it's not going anywhere. So you might as well try to learn how to do it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Another band I follow back from the new metal days, Het PE posted.
Oh yeah,
Jared posted. You know, he did some band art with AI yesterday, and he posted online. He's like, you know, what do you guys think? And somebody even posted, you know, it's still your idea. It's getting generated for you, but you still have the thought has to begin with you, even when you're using the AI.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's like. Yeah, it's certainly those videos take me some time. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it's like, oh, there it is. You know what I mean? It's like, it takes a while, you know?
Just my opinion, for whatever it's worth. It's not worth much, but I think if you use it as a tool, it's just another tool in your toolkit that you can use. And we use it for a lot of really kind of the bullshit, like, you know, cutting commercials and promos and things like that, where it's just like super generic stuff. And we're not shy about it either. You know, I want to embrace technology. I never want to push back on it, whatever that might look like. And it might be scary and it might get out of control at some point. But I always want to sort of embrace the change and the future, really.
Me too. And I want to learn how to do it too, you know? So it's just kind of like one of those things. Yeah, but mostly it came out of just wanting to rely on myself and not have to rely on anyone else. So I was just kind of just trying to, you know, make this happen with however I could make it happen, you know?
You mentioned In This Moment, you being in this moment for a number of years. You've also worked with Filter and with Nikki Sixx, working with artists like that are on such a high level and have been doing it for so long. You know, does that up your game in many ways? And does that help your creativity when you're working on your own projects?
It's inspiring for sure. You know, like through the years and working with people and seeing how they worked and wrote songs and their work ethic in general, you know, definitely has inspired me through the years. Absolutely.
Joined here with Jeff, and correct me, how do we say the last name? Fabb?
Fabb, like fabulous, but just Fabb.
Jeff Fabb. Of Jeff Fabb, Solo Work, and Black Label Society. This is the Vulgar Display of podcast. We have See No Evil out, and then we have Love and War coming out this Friday. Jeff, we really appreciate your time today. Can't wait to link up with you when you get into town, whenever that is. And thanks, man. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, man, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Empty my